Coach, I was telling you before we get started the show that I've done 2 or 3 high school games and college games. 100 points have been scored in every one of them. New day, new dawn, new football.
Yeah, it is a different time period with the invention of the RPOs and what we do, the PROs, and the number of plays that you want to get run in the hurry up style, and it's difficult for defenses, and then it's really especially difficult for defenses that don't tackle well.
Sure.
And that's something that we didn't do very well on Saturday.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Fig before we came in. We talked to him together, and I know he was really discouraged, but I've seen it 3 weeks now at different levels. If you don't tackle, and the people at home just might as well get used to it, because now it's fast break football is what it is. And if you can't tackle in space, you won't win anymore. You just won't win.
No.
You have to, and you still. Here's what people don't understand: even though you may be playing with safeties and corners more than you would linebackers and a defensive end, you still have to be able to execute. Yeah. And you didn't get it done on the defensive side.
No, we didn't, and that's it was disappointing, but with that being said, there's opportunity there for some of the players we took that didn't play as much, and we're going to find those guys. I mean, they have to get out there and they have to play downhill. The ball can't run north and south. We have to cancel gaps, and then once your gaps cancel, go make a play. And those are things we have to emphasize. We have to be better with that, and because quick scores are fourth down scores, not just getting the first down, but they pop for a big touchdown or something. You can't have that.
Right.
And, because I'd like to think we could score every time we had the ball, but I don't want to have to.
Right. I totally get it. Now, enough of the negative, okay, because we're both positive guys. And, I think on the defensive side, just like Coach Fig just told us, I think you got to forget about it and improve and go on, and I think that's what you're doing. Offensively, Coach, I have to tell you, this is a good offensive team. I've done your games for 10 years now, ever since you were an assistant coach, just coming up the ranks. Best offense I've seen in 10 years. You're exciting to watch. You really are. And you've got to talk a little bit about all phases of your offense, because they deserve to be talked about.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That was it was a pleasant surprise. You think you're pretty good coming through fall camp and spring ball, and I'll tell you, probably the most significant thing and what I was so proud of our kids about is we didn't have a penalty offensively, and we didn't have a turnover, and that's something, those 0 negative plays, we're going to be pretty good. And now we got to eliminate in the kicking game, we got to eliminate on the defensive side, but that's attention to detail on their part, and being focused and prepared. But it's fun. The offensive line, we had some question marks, and some guys that had played and thought we could get it done, but they did a great job. They really did a really, really nice job. They have to get better. If they listen to this, we have to get better week to week. But it was a great way for us to start. The quarterback situation, Brad did a great job commanding the game.
Really did.
And making some plays and positive yardage and things of that nature. Our receivers did well. Our running backs, did well. We're able to play a bunch of guys, and they produced. And they're fun to coach too.
And I told everybody going heading up to Rapid City that I thought we'd score a lot of points all year. And Sam Brown, your quarterback coach, good friend, and we've talked a lot, and he's right about your quarterback. Everything's positive as far as yardage is concerned. He was in a pickle a couple times, and he made positive yardage out of nothing.
Yep.
He did a good job. But you have more depth on the offensive skill side. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah,
you really did.
There's a bunch of guys that, and there's some guys that are capable that didn't get to play a lot, but they're playing a lot on special teams and whatnot. We'll add another 1 or 2 to the mix this week on the offensive side that we just didn't get cleared through the eligibility center, and we think that's going to get taken care of. So there'll be even some fresh faces out there that'll even make it more exciting.
Yeah, and real quickly, we got to look at this, and we play really early 2 non-conference teams, which is what you want. And really, I think Fig brought up a great point. You improve from your first game. You find out where you are, and then you work with it. And you too. Yeah. Even on the offensive side of the ball. But we're playing Doane, who's a number 9 team in the nation in AI. You're not playing a slouch there as far as a second or first home game.
No, absolutely not. It's my alma mater.
I know it is. I know you played up there for French Rank.
Yep. And they're coming to town, and they're a good football team. They're well coached. They're very disciplined. You watch their film. Their eyes are always right. Looking at their defense, their eyes are exactly where they're supposed to be every snap. And so they're going to be there. They're coached well. They're going to play hard. hard. You're going to have to play the entire game against them and play well to have a chance to win.
Now, will we be looking at another spread offense where we have to tackle in space, or is it a little bit more conventional?
More conventional. Do some different things. Have a quarterback that's pretty mobile though, and they're just solid. Mm-hmm. They're solid. There's not a weakness, and they do a great job of exploiting. What they're gonna take what the defense is giving, and they're gonna continually do that and not make mistakes. And it's certainly a challenge for us.
As a head coach, I've never asked you this question, so this will be usually we do a little prep before we get on, but this is cold turkey. How do you look at your preseason schedule with your non-conference? We know how you feel about conference games. We've got to get them. That's important. That's what really the crux of what we try to do. But how do you look as a head coach on your non-conference schedule?
A great question. This first game, of course, was disappointing, but I don't think what people realize is that the NCAA puts a lot of emphasis on non-region games, out-of-conference games, or in-region out-of-conference games. So last week was important. Last week was totally important to this season if we want to accomplish some of our goals. And we didn't get off on the right foot. Every game's important, and but we've got to get some confidence going. We've got to win early. For not just for us and our confidence, but for our fan base too.
Yeah.
They've got to want to come to those games, and so it's extremely important to us. And I told the team before the season I thought we could win 7 of our games. I thought we could win 7. And that hasn't been done since 1990 around here. And I still feel that, but now it's more difficult because that was one I think we should have won.
Yeah. And you have the opportunities. When you have those opportunities, what you're saying, you got to take advantage of them. But we go into this season, we have, like, the offensive line was a big question mark, who played extremely well. You've had a lot of guys, but you're going to have to make some switches. Obviously, we're going to be looking at this week because you've actually got some film to look at to see where the changes need to be made. Yeah. But overall, depth-wise, again, let's talk about the entire squad, not just the offense. How do you feel about that this year?
Feel good. There's more depth than there's ever been, and you look at our last two recruiting classes. Our retention's been very, very high.
It's been real good.
And and now we just need them to grow up really fast. But there's some really, really good players in there that I can't wait to watch play in the future. They're just not ready yet.
Yeah, because we'll go through a stretch now. This is it. This is our non-conference, and then we go through a stretch playing our conference people all the way through. I looked at the schedule. I know McHenry played well, won big, and they were ranked number 2 coming in. Indy again, number 1. The only schools that ever beat them is William Jewell in the conference.
Right.
So, we have that. But you're competitive. You were 4-4 in the league last year. How do you look at the league?
We're excited about it. Obviously, we think there's a couple games we should have won. I know the coaches picked us to finish 8th out of 9, which is fine. I don't know.
That means nothing.
Well, no, and you know how I did mine? I went and looked at last year's conference schedule and how they finished in the standings, and that's how I ranked them.
Yeah.
It means nothing. I said I grabbed my 2-year-old daughter and told me, hey, come pick your favorite color.
Yeah.
Okay, there's number 1.
That's the way a lot of it goes in preseason.
Well, it is, because they don't know. We didn't get worse, okay? We didn't play up to our potential week 1. We didn't get worse from last year. And they don't know. We don't know what injuries you're going to have or who's coming in or who gets eligible, who's not eligible, with different requirements in NCAA. So it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. And that's okay wherever they feel we should be, then fine with me. Until you beat people consistently, they're not going to rank you high.
Right. There was a pretty good turnout up at Rapid City, which is long haul. What do you expect as far as the first game, as far as fans concerned? We hope that everybody come out. I'm going to do a little plug for you, so you don't have to.
Please do.
As far as fun to watch, this squad is fun to watch.
Yeah.
As far as doing games with Rick Cole and myself, it's fun to watch because it's high scoring and it's fast break football, and you can do it. Yeah. You have the offense to do that. But, as far as fans, what do you want to say to them? First ball game, 12 o'clock start, I believe.
Come out. Come out and keep coming out.
Yeah.
We're fun. Not only fun to watch, but they're fun to coach, too. And that makes a huge difference. We have I said before, we don't have the prettiest locker room, but we have a really good locker room. Now that's got to transfer over to our play on the field and holding one another accountable.
Yeah. You go into this, and injuries, I know you don't want to let too many cats out of the bag, but the depth thing, injuries has always been a problem. You alluded to that when you were talking about the conference. You might want to tell the fans, you really don't know it's really week from week how you're going to adjust.
Yeah, it is, and there's evaluation. Anytime you have a game where you give up 64 points, we don't get off the field on third down or fourth down, everybody's open for evaluation. Because you don't want to go through that week to week, and so it'll be a big evaluation week for us, and players are going to be challenged, to step up and answer the call. But with our depth, there should be enough that if they really want it, that we should get out there and be much improved this week.
A couple, and talking about exciting football, a few people, old school people wouldn't get it, but now with the run and shoot type stuff that's going on, everything's go. Something of the past almost, because and there's our teams, we've heard of coaches that don't even punt, they don't want to give up that possession, but 3rd and 4 real quickly. I know probably somebody, and I had your back because it's obvious why you were in pretty good field position though when you went for it on 3rd and 4. That's what a lot of people don't.
Right, that's something they see. That I think it was 6. We were 3 of 6, so 50% is not horrible on fourth down. They've got to be manageable, and also in what we call a go zone, where if we punt, the chances are they're going to get the ball up 20, so our field position advantage only 20 yards anyways, So those situations, if we're extremely efficient, we want that defense to have to play third down again. So if they have to play third down twice, we're going for it on fourth down. That puts them in a pickle.
Well, a lot of your calls, and you can just see it developing. You guys would be maybe 3rd and 15, and you try to get 7 back because you knew you were going to go for it on fourth down, and that's kind of the way we reported. So that's what I mean. We got to kind of shut it down for the first edition here, but games at 12. But if you want to see exciting football, my man, I know you're with me. Come Saturday and keep coming. It'll be 12 o'clock against Doane, Nebraska, number 8 team NAIA in the nation. They'll be solid, like you said. They've had great tradition there. When you played there, they were very good. They really were. So hopefully we'll see all the Cardinal fans there. And that'll wrap up this first edition of Inside the Cardinal Playbook.